Hello, and welcome back to Chapter 2 of Subdatum, our Die RPG horror fantasy longshot. My name is Alex. I use he/they pronouns, and tonight I will be playing both the Game Master and the Master in our little story. Amelia, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, my name's Amelia Psalm. I encourage people to use whichever pronouns they think are the hottest to refer to me. I will be playing Evelyn, who uses she, her pronouns. Yep, that's the word. And Evelyn is commanding the Paragon E, who is the dictator class, who uses they, them pronouns.
Excellent. Andre.
Andre, you're so quiet for me.
It's because I'm muted. Hi everybody. My name is Andre. I use he/they pronouns, and I will be playing both Johnny Von Spire, who uses he/him pronouns, as well as Dorado, who uses they/them pronouns.
Fantastic. And Nicole.
Hello, I'm Nicole. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm also playing Fern, who also uses she, her pronouns, and is controlling the Paragon Seraph, who uses she, they pronoun.
Fantastic. And last but not least, Sarah.
What up, everyone? My name is Sarah. Sarah is coffee everywhere on the internet. My pronouns are they, them. Today, I am playing Cassandra, who definitely uses the pronouns she, her, but is controlling the Paragon, also Cass, length of name unknown currently, who uses he, him pronouns. Whoa!
That's crazy. What's that about?
That's crazy.
I'm sure that means nothing, actually.
I'm sure that
so
won't
wild.
So it's just like a
discussion.
glitch or something?
I think
don't
it's
know.
just a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. He can switch back if he wants.
That's a trans narrative.
We return, spiraling down through multi-hued beams of light into darkness. A strange temple of white stone, dark obsidian sconces, and a mirrored black floor. You find yourselves collected as a group, your vision returning, focusing on the strange figure in front of you. Once again, you've only heard described before, never seen unless it was in doodles shared to you by your friend Sam, or maybe reference pictures pulled out of books. But the woman you see in front of you, curly dark hair tossed to one side with a brilliant streak of silver. She is tall, imposing, clothed in black, a fabric that seems to shift in the low light of flickering torches, almost like things are crawling down and over it. With high cheekbones and blood-red lips, she looks to all of you, still holding a single crystal D20. You find yourselves here, but you can't feel anything yet. It's almost like you are holding on to the strings of a puppet, disconnected, pins and needles everywhere, except each of you, a single cold sensation in the palm of your hand, where the die that you had taken from Sam now rests. Zarova stands before you. You look around this room. Welcome to the world of Die, she says.
All right, okay. Did you put something in our drinks, or Like, this is funny. This is really good.
I would like to say
Not joking.
this is not funny to me. Are we dead?
I'm pitching my arm.
You don't really feel it. It's just sort of dull. Not dead, I promise.
Where the hell are we?
Is that guy dead?
Andrew? In a way. Andrew. Funny. It doesn't matter if he is. None of that matters anymore. It doesn't matter here.
Where is here?
Her arms come up, and you see these long black threads, fabric connected to a massive and grand cloak. Here's where we get to play again, together.
Oh, you're Sam? Oh, Jesus. Okay. Cool.
Not
Why
the
could-
worst trip.
Why couldn't we play just in your living room?
Well, as much as that would be enjoyable, I'm sure, you all were not the best guests to have at a birthday party. But I know each of you. I know what you are when you are characters, involved, passionate, working together to overcome obstacles.
I feel like we remember this game very differently.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah. But it was important to each of us. And I just think all we need is an obstacle to overcome together. To remember who we really are to each other.
And who are we to each other?
Heroes.
I'm out.
That's funny.
I'm gonna figure out what's behind us. And Cass starts walking the other way.
As you turn around, Cass, you catch a glimpse of your reflection in a massive black mirrored obsidian wall behind you. Would you describe your paragon for us?
Absolutely. So, I feel like any description of Cass's paragon has to come with the disclaimer of who Cass's paragon should be, which is a tiny, tiny bubblegum princess style fighter with long blonde hair in style of what we have used earlier in the streams, great tits, and everything's pink. Everything is pink, wearing a beautiful crown, and looking in his reflection now, Cass is the ultimate expression of, I guess garbage slut man would be the best way to describe him. He is 6 feet tall, somewhere around there, no exact measurements. Has this shock of blue hair with purple highlights throughout, and is wearing next to no clothing, denim shorts and leather straps across his chest, which is muscled, like annoyingly so. Like that kind of thing that you see actors do, and you're like, that doesn't seem healthy, but like it's fantasy, so it's not real, you know? It's not real. And yeah, Cass catches that glimpse of himself in the mirror, stops for about a second, and then Cass thinks he's on a drug trip, just kind of points a finger towards it and goes, all right, and keeps on going.
You reach the wall, your hand against it. It is, again, like pins and needles, sort of tingly and static, but you can't push through it.
And Cass is just going to be doing that in the background.
Sam?
I'm not Sam here. You know my name.
Oh, fuck. I know. Wait, I know. Evelyn. Okay. Lady Zarova.
Yes.
So we're all supposed to be friends, getting along, solving Aren't you the bad guy? If
That is true. I figured I would be nice and give you guys a little bit of an introduction, but I can be bad.
So is this like a video game?
More like the best video game you've ever seen in your life, Sarah. This is something that I uncovered, created, and I've made it just for you. I've tailored who you are. I've crafted a story for us to tell together. I hope you enjoy the choices I've made for you, but keep in mind, of course, any role-playing game is about the choices that you make.
this like a Jumanji thing where we win the game, we go back home?
She looks sort of sour for a second. You can see these dark arched eyebrows, the sneer on the lips. It's not about going back home, E.
You literally threw us into this without any consent. I think we have the right to determine what our goals are right now.
I'm sorry to hear that. I just wanted you all to play a game with me. But
This doesn't feel like a game. This is fucked up.
not yet, but you don't know the rules.
Oh God. I think that's part of the problem.
Okay, what are the rules?
I'm the villain. And you're the paragons. And you can do anything as long as you pay for it. The dictator, the Neo, the Godbinder, and of course the Fool,
I'm focusing.
the Voice, the Gifts, the Packs, and, well, whatever you think you can get away with, Kat.
I've got a lot of money, so probably a lot.
Not here. Money isn't important here. Well, except maybe for you, Dorado.
Oh, right. Yeah. Fuck.
Fuck. Sorry, there's a mouse in my room.
What?
Oh, shit.
Yes, you remember, don't you?
Oh, fuck. Where's Chroma? Jesus. Where the fuck is Chroma?
Chroma can join you soon, but you have to earn your pet, Dorado.
You're a fucking monster.
I am now. And as she smiles, you see two sharp teeth, fangs, glisten in the firelight.
Cass turns around from focusing on keeping his hands pressed to the wall and says, I'm bored and this room is small and it's ruining my fucking high, whatever that's doing here. So let's go, and moves to just walk past Lady Zarova.
She holds up her hand, and you see that crystal D20 and she says, a moment. Cass.
I'm the fool. I'm supposed to do whatever I can get away with. I'm still walking. She's going to have to stop me.
All right, let's see if I can figure this out. And that D20 sort of twists and glistens, and you feel something suddenly. Not those pins and needles, but rather a burning sensation. And then she says, fools can't walk and talk. And almost like a stitching pressure on your mouth and your ankles. And as you say that, you just sort of stop before her. Oh, that's fun.
Sam.
Not Sam.
Can I talk as long as I'm not walking? Is that
Yes.
Okay. That's what are you doing to me in the real world that's doing that?
I know it'll take some time to get used to it, but you are not in the real world, although this world is as real as ours. When you push things, they move. When you hurt things, they bleed. But more than that, when you cast things, they change. When you wish for things, sometimes they happen here.
I am bad at symbolism, Sam. So...
And you continue and move past her. And now, as you are looking, this dark wall of thorns has grown up behind Lady Zorova. As you step towards it, it is radiating a coldness, again, dulled through layers, like you're off kilter, you're disconnected in some way. But you push into them and you feel that static sharpen into pricks on your body. These walls of thorns are real and sharp behind her. I'm not trying to railroad you. This is the first room, my moment, my introduction. It would be very nice of you to listen while I'm talking. You can be nice, can't you, Cass?
For a favor.
Each of you. Take some time. The story will begin soon. And holds up that D20 again. It flashes. The thorns, the cloak, the pale form, disperse in a moment. Of course, dramatic as always, in a cloud of black smoke that clears away. And Andre, will you describe what your paragon looks like for us?
Yes. Dorado resembles a robot. Imagine like a combination of like the classic like Metropolis robots, the Iron Giant, and like the robots from Portal, Peabody and Atlas, like all smushed together. Has sort of like an Iron Man like glowing heart, equally glowing eyeballs, and then on top of their head They have a big kind of like siren light, kind of like one you would see on like an old like police car or fire truck. And does not have a mouth. Does have small holes for like audio output, as well as a slit in the middle of their chest. Yeah.
And Amelia, would you describe your paragon for us?
Okay, so the thing about E is I feel like if I said femme fatale, you would have almost an idea of what they look like. Just super tall, semi-jacked, like probably one of the strongest members in the party, but accidentally because rolled stats weird and was like, yeah, strength seems good. A kind of cornflower blue skin with these gold tattoos that start around her eyes and sort of fan out and go down and reappear on their arms and chest. Great tits. Obviously, these very dark navy bat wings that extend from behind, a giant mantle of an indigo hair that kind of just always seems like it's held outward in place. It curls, and no irises, but two, like a deep, soft purple eye. What is it? Sclera, and just kind of always looks perpetually a little bit disdainful. And they have claws.
Sexy.
Sexy.
Nicole, would you describe your paragon for us?
Seraph looks a lot like she would have in the original campaign. A long, sharp, a hair coming down in a long, sharp angle with this a short undercut all the way around the side and back of her head, and wears a simple breastplate as armor, wielding a quarterstaff in her hand with an amulet around her neck. And of course, with her elven ears covered in golden earrings just dripping down.
Excellent. As
Fair.
this as this mist disperses, you now see around you what appears to be some kind of traditional dungeon. Stone walls, some light, some dark, dusty skulls in some corners, braziers, firelight. And it looks like this first room is connected to sort of a larger staircase that ascends up to a greater and grander room with a statue at the center. Pretty old school.
Terrifying. Very spooky.
Okay, so we got everybody all kind of look around about how I would have pictured from the last campaign, but
Point at Cass.
So, currently tangled in the thorns. Has not moved out of them.
Have you been secretly playing D&D with Sam or something?
I never liked playing D&D. Why would I play? What the fuck?
It's just where all.
Oh, I see. I get it. Cass
You look
pulls
different.
his ear off and goes, "These aren't real." Yeah, I was waiting to do that bit for years, and nobody ever was like, "Oh, what are your elven ears here? They're just plastic."
okay.
The
I
last
mean, it's
thing-
Kaz.
Yeah, clearly it's Cass.
Is this like a collective trip, or am I dreaming all of you? Is the question that I have.
I don't think I would dream this, is the thing.
Well, I would. You know, it would be my dream. So, like, for you, if you're actually here, it would be like, whoa, spooky, you know? Scary.
I feel like I'm actually here, but would I tell you that in your dream?
Probably not. But also you'd probably be like, "Oh, Cass, I'm so sorry. I love you." Falling at
Okay.
my feet. So,
Usually I am all for these sorts of
Strange dreams?
philosophical ramblings, but this feels very low priority right now.
High priority right now to you.
Well, I am very hungry.
You're hungry.
Yes,
me too.
What?
I am fucking famished.
I don't.
I
It's
know
like
how to process this.
it's like a coldness that extends from the D20 in your mechanical hand up through your arm towards your chest, a deep void, like a maw with teeth clawing and biting at your insides.
I need to eat.
We just had dinner.
I am hungry. What do you want from me?
Oh my god. Okay.
Sounds like fantasy munchies wait for the trip to wear off together while we find food.
I'm not part of your hallucination.
You're here. So, come on.
You are not dreaming, and we'll walk up to Cass and slug him.
Oh, fantastic. Which means I would love if you could give me a strength roll. You are going to take whatever your stat is in strength and roll that number of d6. I'm going to ask Cass, are you dodging?
Nope.
Okay, excellent. So this is a difficulty 0, which means that you roll those 2d6, you subtract whatever the difficulty is from the number of successes, numbers above 4 that you roll, and then if you get at least 1 success, you're golden.
Okay, I got a 4 and a 1. That's 1 success.
Okay, that is 1 success, which is going to mark down 1 guard on Cass. This is the first thing you feel besides the sort of sharp but subtle pricking of thorns, a slap hard and cold across your face.
Ow. Fuck. Jesus.
Do you feel that?
Yeah, Johnny just fucking hit me outside of the trip. What the fuck?
I'm gonna go up to the wall of thorns and just prick my finger.
You feel it, but again, a dull sensation. It almost makes the die in your hand pulse for a moment.
Put the die down.
You put that die down, and the clothes that you're wearing, the claws, skin, and hair, they start to sort of flicker almost. A draining sensation. The static and the cold leave you, and you are numb all the way through. It does not feel good.
Get back up.
That's better.
Okay.
I think Seraph's been just kind of head in hands, deep in thought. It's like, okay, we need a plan, and we need to figure out how to get out of here. If I remember correctly, Johnny's character had some kind of magic or something with our party gold.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
I
could
remember
copy
this.
spells.
So, I need to acquire gold.
I don't know how any of this works. This is I don't know what's happening here.
Dorado, you hear a voice in response to that question. So I need to acquire gold. Start just sort of a hum like a computer fan when you've been running it too long, and then a fair gold. Locating.
Wait,
Locating. Locating. Right ahead.
Dorado is going to like you know how you like when you have a phone and you're trying to like get better reception in the room, kind
Yeah.
of walking around like that.
There's sort of like a locating, and the voice speeds up as you walk up these steps, sort of stepping around the wall of thorns, that it is slowly dissolving away into ash and dust, and come face to face with this statue. It appears to be a large and well-endowed image of Lady Zarova, white stone, holding in cupped hands some kind of metal brazier.
Are you all following me?
Whomp. Cass falls onto the ground as the thorns melt away, and then it's like, fine. Rolls out.
Excellent. And now, as you look towards this statue, the AI in your head says, something is required. Fair gold. Nearby. Something is required.
I believe that if we figure out something to do with this, what was it called? This statue thing, we will get gold. Maybe if we keep looking around, we'll find something.
It's a brazier, right? Do we just need to light it on fire?
I do not remember if... Well, I cannot... Well,
Who's got fire?
well, I have fires, or I had fire spells at one point. Do I
But-
still?
Locating. Systems offline. Systems offline. Hacking. Pet. Specials. Locator.
Wait. Back. Did you say pet?
Systems offline. Pet.
I mean, we don't need a spell, right? Could we just grab one of the torches? I don't know what... Is this like one of those old dungeons that we'd be put through that Sam would just come up with?
Check it out. Cass snaps his fingers, and like a tiny flame appears on the end. I got fire.
The amount that Sam let you get away with is criminal.
My style as a fool, and I'm playing with fire a little bit here, literally, is that I'm a trickster wizard, and I can cast cantrip-styled minor magical spells. I feel like a tiny lighter flame is cantrip 0, right?
I do think so. If you want to try and light this, usually you can use either your wisdom or your charisma for spell casting. So I would love for you to give me either a wisdom or charisma roll. And remember, you get to add your fool's d6 to this.
So I roll a d20 and then roll a d6, or do I just roll 2d6? What's the vibe?
Look at your stats. They would each begin at 2, and then you would assign an additional 2 points. So your wisdom and your charisma should either be a 2, a 3, or a 4. Then you're going to roll that number of d6 plus 1 additional d6. That is your fool's die.
Got it. Now, all that's super interesting. And it's really cool that I have to cover for the fact that I do not have these stats. Because I was already like, Cass isn't moving to light this or anything. Yeah. So, but give me one moment to put my stats actually in. So, high stream. 2 to each thing, and then I have 2 additional to put into any place. Okay.
Mhm.
Great.
While this is happening, E has just been like staring at this little D4, and is just going to kind of start not going too far. I think this is pretty common when we play together, where E would just kind of wander a little bit far away from the party. I'm just gonna kind of go like down here and look for some like sticks or rubble. Like maybe grab a torch.
Excellent. You can take a torch off the wall easily. It just sort of slides out of this obsidian sconce. And once again, the warm sensation is dull, but it's a little stronger now since you set down that D4 and picked it up. Like things are coming into focus slowly. Beyond this main room, staircases, crumbling banisters, cracks in white stone, and darkness. You realize now that it's almost too quiet. You've left the sounds of Los Angeles behind. The only thing you really hear is that fire crackling, dripping in the distance, and the echoing as your companions walk around. Other than that, it is silent.
I do have my stats ready, by the way. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Now, a little more explanation both for our stream and for you. But your Fool's D6, your class die that Cass is currently holding in his hand, it should have a mark, a circle on one of the numbers. Meaning that if you roll that circle, a fluke happens, something lucky that attributes to you. So you're going to roll whatever pool you select, either charisma or wisdom for a spell, adding your Fool's D6. And if you get a fluke, if you roll that circle, let me know. If you don't roll that circle, you get to add an additional circle onto a number. So anytime you don't fluke, it becomes more and more likely.
Amazing. Now, can I make an argument? I know that you said charisma or what?
Charisma or wisdom.
Okay. Now I'd be rolling the same amount of dice. The way Cass is going to do this is by cool man style jumping up on the different parts to get to the brazier. So can I argue that it's like dexterity?
You could argue with Sam as a game master, but here's the interesting thing. You still can't speak and move at the same time. So, no.
What if I argued while I'm staying very, very still?
And you can't get closer to the brazier to light it.
I got nothing, y'all. I can't do anything. Damn.
Seraph will try to walk back to the room they came from and grab one of the torches off the wall then.
You can
Just
also
being
pick one up.
all right, Kaz, we've got this.
I mean, watch! And starts walking, and you watch as his mouth literally just shuts and is like,
It's an improvement. What was that? I can't hear you.
stops walking. My hands are never silent.
The two of you approach with torches, and Cass, you can make your way a little bit closer. You see as the light flickers over that metal brazier clasped in the statue's hands, the metal itself seems to begin to glow.
Is that a good sign or not? What do you think, E?
I don't think it matters. I think it's all we've got.
All right.
I'll put mine in at the same time.
Yeah.
You light the brazier. That glow grows and grows, and there is a humming, shifting sound as the statue opens its eyes. You see two trickles of dark blood begin to emerge down the face, pouring down the statue, meeting the flame in this bowl. And as it lights Dorado, you see within a single floating, pixelated gold coin. Acquired.
Like a dog seeing a squirrel will like lock eyes with it and then just like stumble over themselves to rush and grab it.
Mm-hmm. Reach in, pull it out. The fire, again, you feel dull and then hot. And you see in your hands the most beautiful coin you've ever beheld.
Takes this 8-bit coin and inserts it into the slot inside of on the exterior of their chest, and like almost like they've been cast on an island for weeks, and this is like the first like well-crafted food they've had since being stranded, and gobbles it down. And there's like the little like doo-doo like sound effect, and it's just like finally, oh, that felt good.
Do you need?
The voice in your head. Oh, sorry.
Could you say
Mel's,
that
what
again?
did you say?
Oh, I said, do you need a room?
That's a good one, yeah.
The voice in your head goes, systems, online, selecting, pet. And would you describe how Chroma appears?
So Chroma, it has the same name in the game as out of game. And like as they are casting the spell, Dorado's body like kind of like whirs and like clanks in place, and out of the chest cavity, as it like opens up, a small, almost like quadcopter like robot comes out, with a like very modern like modem look to it, with if you've ever seen those PCs that have like the constant shifting rainbow lights, it's like that across a bunch of little like lights across both sides of its body. The tail and the tongue are both USB cables, and Chroma's head looks like one of those classic computer mice that has, instead of like a wheel scroll, it has the big red slick ball, and has like a sort of like crosshair like light emanating from it, as it sort of like spins around and like recalibrates, and Chroma is here.
Pet activated.
Chroma, are you okay?
Just sort of clicks and rolls the ball over.
Oh shit.
There you
Looks
go.
at E and Seraph and goes, "Did y'all ever get that that was what that was supposed to look like? I did not get that."
Assumed it was like yeah, fair enough.
It makes sense. Like, it's in line with what I pictured, I guess.
Very 90s.
Yeah, very Johnny.
So are you still hungry, Dorado?
Am I still hungry?
Yes, desperately so.
Yes, I'm still very hungry.
Okay. I thought that would take care of it.
I also thought that. That is okay.
Okay, well, I guess we have no choice but to explore further.
The brazer's still lit. The statue still cries. The room is lighter now. You can see around it, almost like, although you still have the same torches, the same amount of fire that was before, almost like someone has turned up the brightness on a computer screen, things still coming into focus. You begin to feel more grounded in your bodies. Hunger, aches, pain, the warmth of the flame, the way that claws feel on your hands, or pointed ears, or sharp teeth, freckles. Your bodies are shaped differently, and you can tell it's a dissociative feeling. But as our paragons begin to settle into their new forms, let's step back into the past. This campaign that you all played together with Sam. Senior year. First semester. Back before honors theses and graduation. Back before move-out day and final goodbyes. That golden semester, with your characters growing in level and power, squeezing in time to play whenever you could between dates and taking off time from class. One of the final encounters in your game. You had chased down a messenger of Zarova to a Gothic cathedral. Many of you believed it was some sort of trap, but so it goes. Many of you would dive in headfirst, no matter if Sam had planned encounters to be quite difficult. She always gave way, let you guys get away last moment if she really needed to. What did each of you do to prepare for this encounter that you believed would lead you to the location of a weapon that would kill the Lord of Barovia? Beginning with Seraph, what did you do to prepare?
Seraph likely spent days leading up to it asking for a sign from her deity, trying to gather and divine the surroundings, find a answers to where it might be, what might lie beneath, through communing with the ground around her and the environment, trying to find and locate wherever this final resting place might precisely.
Sam loved to do these little one-on-one sessions with you, especially because you still, I'm assuming, were roommates senior year.
Yes.
So would just like sit down, take a break from doing some homework and turn and say, yeah, you follow the path of sunflowers. Why would sunflowers appear in Barovia? Who knows? You follow the path of sunflowers to another grove and then give you these puzzles to solve, pass you notes, just like leading you on with these omens and these little one-off encounters until finally, Seraph, you found your way to a deep and hidden grove surrounded by the mist in the dark woods, a place where a beautiful waterfall trickled into the greenest patch of grass your character had ever seen here in this dark and dingy world. And there, she found an altar made of silver. What did you leave at that altar?
Seraph probably knelt and prayed, and then left one of the. I imagine Seraph had multiples of this holy symbol that she would hand out after they would complete a task, after they'd help free a town or save someone, whatever it might be, as a token for them to remember the good deed that had been done, and to try and spread the light in this very dark land that was dreary and devoid of hope. And I think one of those was what was left on the altar.
And as you did so, this grove lit up in brilliant sunlight, and you felt a warm hand on your character's shoulder. And then, as you step towards this Gothic cathedral, you see again a beam of sunlight illuminate your character from the skies above, piercing through dark and dismal. What did you do to prepare for this meeting with the messenger?
I think E's philosophy, especially when we got to the later parts of the campaign, because most of their levels are in Bard, was just to find someone and roll ridiculously high and just try and get information that way. I think there was a lot of in-game flirting with Sam. I think between divination, portents, and like lucky feat and all of that, just E would just be like, I want to know this, and then just would keep brute forcing different avenues until we got a solution, and then would use whatever enchantment spells necessary to just squeeze information.
Excellent. The incredible web of contacts that you managed to establish for your character, which was mostly just Sam doing slightly different versions of the same, like, buxom servant girl who just, like, kept appearing across the realm of Barovia with, like, a slightly larger nose or hair.
Just like Nurse Jenny or Officer Jenny.
Yep. Just this, like, crestfallen, dirt smudged lady. And then she's always just like, you've met my sisters? There's a lot of us, like, getting information out of this web of contacts. Eventually lets you know that there are multiple back entrances to this cathedral, where it is the practice of those who still hold to the old religions of this realm to go and leave sacrifices for the vampires that sometimes plague it. So you, with a loosely scrawled map in hand that was given to you and drawn for you by one of these contacts, are directing the party as they enter. Dorado, how did you prepare for this encounter with the messenger?
So, Dorado spent a lot of time just doing hard research into what would be most effective in killing the Lord of Barovia, and making sure that she stayed dead and wouldn't resurrect herself, or that her underlings wouldn't be able to resuscitate her once she had been killed.
Excellent. Pouring through whatever books your character could get their hands on, researching for long hours. Eventually, Sam gave in and said, "You know it's a sword of some kind, one that gives off light, brilliant light, enough to turn off some of the vampire's abilities. And so you come, Dorado, with an image pulled out of an old and dusty journal of a glowing sword. You know what you're looking for and what to ask the messenger for." And Cass, did your character prepare for this encounter?
Abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely, Cass did. Now, I have a question. How long did we know about this meeting? Is it a journey that we had to make our way toward?
Yes, you've been working up to this encounter over many weeks of both gameplay and in-game time.
Fantastic. Cass has derailed several sessions of the game in order to look for what was, in his terms, some kind of extension to my gun that kills vampires. And would take every are people in the middle of RP? I go look in that chest to see if the extension that kills vampires is in there. Are people in the middle of combat and a person falls? I dig into their chest cavity to see if that extension that kills, has been a menace about it. Could be a trap. We need an extension that kills vampires.
After wearing away at Sam, she eventually gave you. You had to dig through every grave in a cemetery, which unfortunately soiled, your gorgeous pink attire. You do have a little reflective lens that snaps on the front of your gun and makes your bullets catch fire.
Pew, 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 pew! I got a sword, I got a gun!
You all approach this massive, dark cathedral, Sam leaning over the table, describing to you all, her brows narrowed, so excited, so passionate in a way that you never see her, even on drunken nights, even talking about thesis. She's most alive in these moments with all of you, making your way down through those secret passages, weapons prepared, stealthing. Even if some of you roll poorly, she lets it slide, because this is the moment that she's been waiting for to unveil the betrayal she's been planning for so long. As you enter this cathedral, there's a person kneeling and praying at an altar, just one. They stand up and turn around. But let's take a break. Let's take a little bio break. Yes, I'm doing this to you. Let's take a little 5-minute break. Is that good with my producer? Excellent. Okay, then we'll be back in 5 minutes.
Be back soon.
Hello, and welcome
Hello.
back to Subdatum. We return back in the past to enter as your characters, your D&D characters, not your paragons or personas, as you enter a dark and gothic cathedral. The figure stands up and turns around, and you see someone your characters recognize as a vampire hunter. Someone who has left you hints, guided you. She is pale skin, brown, dark hair, tied up in a ponytail, wearing leather armor, and has a few stakes at her belt. This is, as far as you've encountered, one of Sam's favorite NPCs, someone who comes up quite often. And Evelyn, you know, this is someone you've been working with to pass messages along. She turns, looks to all of you, says, What are you all doing here? You're not supposed to be here. I was only supposed to meet with. And then dark shadows gather. The corners of this cathedral grow even darker, and vampires appear, spawning in with aplomb. Large bat wings, mist gathering, and combat ensues. It goes fairly well, leaning mostly in your favor the entire time. And you just barely manage to capture this NPC before she runs away. Looking across the table at you, E, with a smile. Sam leans forward and says in the character's voice, as you stand over her, I was supposed to be meeting with... Points a finger towards Evelyn.
I don't get it.
The NPC died, and then she was supposed to be meeting with Evelyn. Do you get it?
You're supposed to be meeting with all of us, right? But did Evelyn talk beforehand, or?
Evelyn, why were you meeting with this person who just summoned a horde of vampires?
That's an excellent question.
That you know the answer to.
Right. So I don't know I don't know. I was just trying to get information about where the thing was, the weapon. She must
Do I
have
need to
double-checked
cast
us.
Zone of Truth on you?
Don't. Well, if I'm not allowed to cast suggestion on you, you're not allowed to cast Zone of Truth on E.
I pull out my gun and I shoot E. Right? Right?
Yes.
No. Yeah, so why would you do that?
Isn't that what's
Why?
happening? I got it, right?
Oh my god. Can I
We-
at least roll for it?
Okay. Let's pick this up next week. I have to figure out if I'm gonna let you shoot E.
We don't
You
even
do
know
have
what's
to, like-
happening, Kaz.
I
Vampire
said this gun would be useful.
Oh my
I
You
just
have the
didn't know
vampire
it'd be
killing
useful
thing.
on our own, me own party member. You know?
Okay, all right. I should have.
I
I'll
I
see you
feel,
guys
I feel very
next
confused.
Thursday. Yeah, I get that. But it was a good reveal. It's a great reveal.
I think you
Okay,
did
I'm
great.
gonna-
It was fun.
Thank you. Let's clean this up. I have to go. I have a study hall.
All right, we'll see you later,
Yeah.
Sam.
Okay. And she closes the Dungeon Master's Guide and folds up the wipe erasable dungeon master's board that she's been using, that she's sketched out this like shitty little diagram of the cathedral with a bunch of V's all over it for vampires that she's been drawing red X's through as you've defeated them. And packs up her bag, returning back to the world of Dye. As you all face this statue and this light, the blood has been pooling down into this brazier, the fire growing brighter and brighter. It doesn't seem like there's anything that triggers it in particular. You're just sort of looking around, discussing. But the hands lower this fire down towards the ground, and you see a wooden plinth that the statue's standing on suddenly alight. And then there's a low groaning noise that comes from your left, from your right, from ahead of you. A sort of droning call, like something out of a classic zombie movie. You see approaching stumbling figures of white bone, long cloaks, what appear to be skeletons of some kind, half their faces cloaked in real flesh, dripping off of them. Looks like your dungeon master has provided you some monsters to fight.
Do we have our weapons?
Okay, listen, I don't know. The rules seem different. I don't even know if I can do the same spells I used to.
You can probably do fire with your fingers if you try really hard.
None.
He holds out their hand to try and see fire. You just see this black, shadowy energy begin to coalesce. Huh.
Well, it's something.
Let's roll dexterity.
All
So
right.
everyone is going to take their dexterity pools, and in this case, this is the one time you're going to add your dice together. You are going to roll your dexterity again. Take the number, roll that number of d6, and then add that together and let me know what those numbers are.
All right. I've got an 11.
Okay, an 11 for Cass.
Got an 8.
Okay. Dorado with an 8.
I have 7.
Perfect.
I have a 3.
Jesus, y'all!
I had 2 dice. I rolled a 6 and a 1.
I rolled
Perfectly
a
average.
1 and a 2.
Wow.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
You
Okay.
got this, right?
I'm fine. I'm vibing.
I love new systems. So the way this works is that if you are not surprised, you will regain your guard at the start of this combat. You are not surprised. These creatures are kind of telegraphing what they're doing. So your guard should all be now reset. And again, that's equal to your dexterity. So it should be like a 2, a 3, or a 4. Your guard gets marked down before your health does. Also important to note. And you, of course, have some unique abilities that your characters are capable of that they will uncover. But we do begin, of course, at the top with Cass. You had just said, "Do we get our weapons?" And you
Oh,
feel...
that was out of character. I will say.
That was? Okay. Well,
I'm so sorry.
It is your turn, and the D6 that you are holding goes from feeling cold in your hand to hot. And then it transforms, lengthening. This shitty little wooden dice goes from wood to a dark metal. And would you describe your weapon?
Which weapon am I describing?
Both of them, I would say.
Okay. All right. Suddenly at Cass's hip is what looks like maybe once it was a bubblegum pink longsword, but all of the color has been buffed off, which seems like a weird personal touch that Sam must have put into this, and has been covered with like a black varnish. This looks like a wicked blade for now. And in Cass's hand, growing from the D6, is a 1920s style looking revolver. And he looks at it for a moment in a bit of shock. There's a little bit of hesitation there. Almost as if it looks like it's burning his hand and he's going to drop it. And then he grips it a little further and you know those dudes that are super into like, what's that, CrossFit and shit like that, and are laying down and then do like the fucking jump up back to standing? That's what Cass does. And then goes, all right, still not the worst trip I've ever had. Surprise, motherfuckers. And I would like to roll to hit. I'll describe what my attack looks like after.
Okay. You are using a ranged weapon, so you're going to use your dexterity, and remember, you get to add your Fool's D6.
Hey! All right. This is going to be my Fool's D6, and that's going to be with a circle on. Now, success is anything above 4, correct?
Success is anything above 4, and in any dice pool which contain your Fool's D6, remember, above 4 is a success. If you roll a 6 on any of those D6, you can activate a special. Because you're the Fool, one of your specials is you can just add another D6. So anytime you get a 6, you can keep rolling dice if you would like to.
Neato!
Yes.
Do those die, or can I just keep using them forever?
You can keep rolling D6 as long as you get 6 on them.
Cool. I got 1 6.
Okay.
And I also got a 5, so that's 2 successes.
2 successes.
I'm gonna reroll. Yeah, okay, 2 successes.
Okay, excellent. And you did you roll your circle on your Fool's D6?
I did not.
Okay, then add another circle on one of the numbers.
Cool. Okay. Does that hit the skeleton?
That will hit the skeleton. These skeletons have a defense of 1, which means we subtract a 1 from them. So you get 1 hit on this skeleton.
Can I describe what it looks like?
Please do.
Cass levels the 1920s pistol towards this skeleton, pulls the trigger, and the hammer knocks back, and then a little flag comes out of the barrel that says, bang! And at first you're like, what the fuck? And then you look at the skeleton, and all of a sudden, 2 of its ribs just explode off.
Perfect. And I just checked. If you match your difficulty, you score 1 hit. For every further success, you score an additional hit. 2 hits is what it takes to take out one of these skeletons. With a bang, the ribs blow out, and then this thing just sort of like sinks down and collapses. And there's another one of those 8-bit noises, like a da-ding.
Shit, and starts like stuffing the flag back into the gun.
Awesome. Next in our initiative order are these fallen.
Oops.
As they stumble closer towards you, reaching out arms, these jaws sort of hanging loose and open. And Dorado, you note that it looks like one of them in the far back, its jaw is glowing slightly, like there's something bright inside. Immediately, your attention is drawn to it. One of them stumbles over here to E and just reaches out to claw at you. I get to roll some d6, which is very exciting. Okay. That is no successes to hit you. One of them towards Seraph with 2 successes.
Ooh.
And no successes on hitting our fool over here. 1, 2, 3 little guys. Excellent. Now, here we go with hitting on our seraph. Every hit causes a character to lose either a guard or a health. Unless otherwise stated, guard is lost before health. If a hit causes a character to lose health, it's called a wound. Now, your defense. What is your defense, Seraph? It should either be a 0 or a 1, I believe.
It is a 0.
It is a 0. Okay. Then with 2 hits on you, that is going to mark down 2 off of your guard.
My armor is shattered.
This fallen sort of scratches down, claws at you, and your breastplate just sort of is rent in 2. That is their turn. It is now our beloved Dorado's go. What are you going to do?
Okay. So, the person in the back with the glowing jaw, you said?
Yeah, glowing jaw.
I need to double check what Chroma does with the ability I chose. Okay, so that's not related. Okay. Question for the GM. Did I already spend that fair gold to summon Chroma?
Yes,
Okay.
Chroma is activated.
Okay, so I have
Additional
no
fair gold allows you. Yeah, you have no fair gold at this point. Chroma being activated means that Chroma can kind of potentially help you with things as you like. In die, advantage means that you add an additional d6 to your pool, and disadvantage means they sort of like stack up. For every 1 disadvantage, I get to add a bad die to your pool, and for every 2 disadvantage, I get to increase the difficulty. If I get to add a bad die to your pool, I'll tell you to pick one of your d6, and if you roll a failure on that, I believe it is the success is negated. So if you roll high on your bad dice, it actually subtracts. And if you roll no successes and at least one of your dice rolls a 1, that's called a critical failure, and I get to make something bad happen to you.
Okay.
Excellent.
Dorado is going to go ahead and try and cast a spell to try and immobilize that particular fallen in place, so that they cannot go anywhere.
Excellent. You are trying to hack one of these fallen.
That's correct.
Which one are you hacking? There's 2 in the front and the glowing one in the back.
The glowing one.
Excellent. Okay, so then I'm going to say, in order to try and face this fallen, I'm going to give this a difficulty of 1. And then you're going to roll an intelligence. Are you using Chroma to help you with this?
Am I allowed to? To my
Yes.
understanding, the only thing that I can use is, like, the only stipulation is alert, of just being aware of any ambushes.
I'm going to say, because Chroma can assist you in any task it can normally assist in, if you want Chroma to help you distract this fallen so you can hack it, I'll allow you to add your d10 to the pool, which means you
Okay.
get an additional d10 to add.
I will do that then.
Okay, so then you're going to roll an intelligence pool, and you will add a d10.
Okay. Anything above?
A 4.
Okay.
Is a success.
Okay. Well, I have bad news. I have a 7 on my d10.
Nice, that's a success.
No successes on my d6, and 2
Mm.
1s.
2 1s. Okay. Ones are irrelevant. You didn't have any disadvantages or anything like that. So you do get one success, but minus the difficulty of one, you do not succeed on your hack. Chroma flies around over this skeleton, sort of just starts waving its arm, and you feel a connection as you're looking towards this glow. You can see just for a moment lines glowing the same color as your head and your eyes, down from your chest, down through the floor, running along the stone, connecting up and through the body of this skeleton, an illuminated neon set of ley lines that you feel like you could tap into if you could just move your fingers in the right way, if you could just summon enough energy, if you just had a little more gold. But the lines fade away in another moment, and you lose your hack. Now, in combat, you can both do an action and or a move. So if you'd like to move at all, I'll say you move just what is reasonable for you to be able to move. We can kind of judge it based on similarly to D&D. So right now, you're a little bit behind the other 3 party members. Do you want to get closer to these skeletons at all?
Nope, I want to stay in the back.
Perfect. That is your turn.
I'm a good mage.
Dorado, it's your go.
Okay, so this one who is right up near me, seeing this weird black swirling energy, and well, putting 2 and 2 together, I am just going to shove my hand in this skeleton's face. Like try and like do it right through with the intent that the what is the technical term? My magical death touch will spread through its
Magical
its
death
orifices.
touch.
That's
Amazing.
Mhm.
Will you roll? It says you can use either dexterity or strength, so roll a dexterity pool.
Okay. I will roll another one. That one fell. Okay, and 1 success, I think. Is that what we're tracking? Or am I doing numbers?
Yes.
Yeah, 1 success. That's a 6.
Yes. And you got a 6?
Yeah.
When you get a 6, you can additionally activate a special. And I'm not sure if you have any specials on your sheet as the dictator.
Yeah, I saw something that said specials, like that I could do something on a special, but I didn't actually see any special abilities.
Yeah. Your specials, let's say, will probably relate more to you using your voice. So in this case, we'll just have that be a success because it's beta version. I don't see anything additionally you can do. So that is 1 hit since you've matched its defense. This death touch, this black energy, just sort of issues up through the ribs of this skeleton, and then out of its eye sockets, billowing smoke, it staggers back away from you. Seems like you've wounded it somehow. That is your turn, E. Would you like to move away from it or stay close where you are?
Can I fly?
You can try to fly.
I want to try to fly. I'm going to flap my wings and see if they carry me up. I'd like to think that was E's thing, is just like, you guys got that handled, right? And just...
I'm going to allow it since you got that D6. Let's add to your character sheet that if you get a special, you can activate your wings for an encounter.
Well, how fun
You can
and
spend a
sexy.
special to activate your wings, and now using that, you are able to lift up. You feel the sort of leather on your back tremble, a powerful stroke, and hasn't everyone thought about what flight would be like at some point as your feet lift up off of the ground, suspended in midair? You are hovering.
Holy shit. I'm flying!
Cool. You know, I felt that once I was on, fuck, what was it? I don't remember. Good for you.
It is your turn, Sarah.
All right. Seraph being up close with this skeleton that just went ahead and shattered her armor. They're going to go ahead and take their quarterstaff. Just a very natural looking piece of oak carved into a long staff, and try to swing and hit this guy.
Okay, excellent. There are ease wings. With your quarterstaff, let me take a look at that.
Whoa.
Fuck yeah, baby.
Your quarterstaff has a special,
Yes,
so
it does.
you're going to roll your strength on this. Give me a strength pool.
All right. That's a 5 and a 2.
Okay, that is a single success, which is enough to get one hit on this skeleton in front of you.
Ooh, all right.
Describe for me how you use this quarterstaff to hurt this fallen.
For Seraph, it's more of I think a reflex out of anything. It's like I don't know what I can do. I don't know. Do I even know any spells? And just thwack brings her quarterstaff down really hard on top of this skeleton.
Yeah, an arm crunches and falls to the ground, and then you feel something too. That D12 burning from cold to warm in your grip. And as you look down, you see it transform into that same holy symbol. A beam of light from the ceiling crests down and reaches your hand, and it begins to glow. And then you hear a voice in your mind. At your service, Godbinder.
Thoth, is that you?
Been a while.
Yeah.
Excellent. We are back to the top of the order with Cass.
Weird. Weirder. All right. And jumps onto the there we go. Jumps onto the shoulders of this one and tries to like crack the butt of the pistol. Actually, you know what? Jumps onto the head of this one. Says, ever heard of deja vu, bud? And then puts the gun to its skeleton temple.
Perfect. Give me a dexterity roll with your
Yeah.
d6.
I mean, technically it's ranged.
Technically.
I'd argue you should not let me or roll ranged on this, but I'd be shooting myself in the foot with that one. Depends on how you roll. All right, that was not a success, and it's on the floor. Or is that? Wait, what die is mine? What the fuck? I got 2 successes, and I didn't roll on my circle.
Excellent. A 2 success. So 2 successes. Add another circle to your fool's d6, and that means that is enough to get 1 hit, and then a second hit. You blow this skeleton's skull just sort of into pieces, and Dorado, you see another coin glowing drop to the ground and roll across the floor.
Is getting 2 successes 2 hits since they have a 1-2 hit?
Yes, if you meet their defense, that's a single hit, and then for each additional success above it, that's another hit. So that is 2 hits on them, and they have 2 health.
Okay, cool. Nice. Go down.
It despawns, literally. That is your go.
Yeah. Can I grab the piece of fair gold?
Yes, you can.
All right. I hold it up and look at Dorado and go, robot want a treat.
Fuck you. For my action,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the same thing I was trying to do on the Fallen
Mhm.
on Cass,
Yes.
and then have Chroma swoop in and grab the coin.
Excellent. Now, question: are you cool with that, Sarah, as a player?
What's happening?
I'm trying to briefly immobilize Cass to grab the coin.
Wow, that's so mean. I would
I
have
know.
just given it to you.
I don't
That's
believe
fine.
you.
Cool. Okay, excellent. Checking on that. Now you are trying to hack a player. This time I'm gonna have the difficulty be 2. Chroma's still helping you, so roll an intelligence pool with your D10, but it's a little bit harder.
Ooh, boy. All right. Well, that's another 7 on the D10, and then that
Success?
is all successes.
Oh yeah.
All success. How many
All-
successes is that?
In total, 5.
In total, 5. Okay, 5 successes minus 2 for the difficulty leaves you with 3 successes. Those ley lines glow again, and this time you see them connecting through each player, traveling up their arms around in sort of like a halo around their head, but they're not halo shaped. They're geometric in design. Around E's head, a triangle. Around Cass's head, a square. Around Seraph's head. God, what's the face of a D12?
Could be a pentagon.
It's a pentagon.
A pentagon.
Oh wait, a
A
D12?
pentagon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
it's a
D12.
pentagon.
Excellent. A pentagon. And around yours, a
Have a kite.
quadrilateral. Quadrilateral. And you can reach out. You see them connecting up through Chroma as he sort of flies and lands on Cass's shoulder for a moment. You can just tweak them. Because there's something already strange about the ley lines surrounding Cass. They're shivering slightly, a different color, like there's something controlling or affecting them. Of course, the movement, the rule that the game master had changed, and you can pull a little bit harder, and Cass freezes for a round.
Chroma is like still like in like the quadcopter mode, and is and will use it's like USB tongue to just like wrap around the coin and then just like swallow it as if it were like a fly. But then when it does that, it like teleports like out of Dorado's like siren, grabs it in the air, swallows it.
Acquired. Another fair gold to add to your track. And then the Fallen begin to act. The last one that remains here moves towards, I think, Cass in this case, just sort of lumbers and wraps its arms around you. But there's something familiar about this one. Half of its face is still covered in flesh, and you recognize what looks like your theater teacher. The long hair, arched eyebrows, the groaning noises that emit from its mouth sound just a little bit disappointed.
I can't do anything. I'm frozen.
Excellent. And because of that, I'm going to give this guy an advantage on you. That is 1 success. What is your defense?
1.
Ooh.
Okay, then it does not hit because it needs to beat more than 1 success to hit you. So with that, it just sort of is wrapped around you. Miss Vitrani is embracing you with her claws. That is the Fallen's turn. We are then back to Dorado. You went. E, what are you up to?
I'm going to descend on the skeleton in the top of his head. My eyes begin to glow slightly. The tattoos a shimmer like the way gold leaf under candlelight. It's not super bright, but it is noticeably reflective if you're looking at them. As the black, inky tendrils manifest, I'm going to go straight down on the skeleton's head.
Yeah. Give me another, I believe it's dexterity.
1 success.
1 success. Okay. That is 1 hit, which is all that remains on this final skeleton since you had already wounded it. The tendrils snake down through the rib cage and then crunch, and she just shatters to the ground. We are out of combat. There's a sort of a beat where you all realize what you've just done. Cast spells, hacked the world around you, fought and killed enemies. Another 8-bit noise, a da-da-da of success. And then the walls around you, almost like a set lifting, start to slide up and up. And the dark and dismal dungeon falls apart before you, stone collapsing like wood, torches flickering out and replaced with bulbs that then fall to the ground. And you now find yourself standing on a grand stage, a massive theater in the round with tiered rows of seats leading up and surrounding you. And sitting in all of them, you see vague, impressionistic mannequins, versions of people you might recognize from college or from your lives, audience members who attended a gallery opening or a first show or a movie premiere or a boss from a promotion. But their features are dull, like they're carved out of wood, and they clap robotically.
Fuck. Rip. Thank you. Dorado,
Yes.
I knew you were all assholes, but fuck. You take the cake, my friend. I'm joining the audience here. Oh. All right. What are these motherfuckers? And Cass leaps down from the stage to go try to take an arm off of a mannequin.
Cass is doing that. Just really scan the room to see if I see Lady Zarova or anything of note.
Excellent. You also note, Cass, as you jump off the stage, it seems like whatever effect that was on you has now dispersed. You no longer can only talk or only move one time.
Nice. I'm back to full power.
Talking and walking,
power.
baby.
Yeah.
Excellent. Get rid of this guy. Yes. Will you give me, let's call this wisdom. Roll a wisdom pool. Also still adding your d6.
Wisdom. I only have 2 in wisdom. I am not very wise. Oh, okay. So, I got 2 successes, and I rolled one of my little circles on. Okay.
Amazing.
Ooh, and let's go. Now any kind of fluke can happen, correct? And you choose it,
Anything
or I say it and then you modify it, right?
You describe it, and then I get to modify it. Yes.
Okay. There's some examples here, and one is an unlikely event causes a welcome distraction. Um, can I say that, like, Cass goes to remove the arm and it does come off, and then just a fountain of confetti starts spraying from it?
Yes.
Okay.
Delightful. And I'll modify this that as you pull the arm off, the rest of you now see confetti cannons just sort of turning at the edges of the stage and begin to one by one around you.
Hell yeah.
You pull this arm off, Evelyn. You are nearly hit by a blast of confetti in the air as gold and red and blue streamers flutter down. You note that the arm that you're holding is surprisingly light. It appears like these figurines, whatever they are hollow on the inside. It makes a terrible little trumpeting noise.
The ukulele or some shit.
Yeah. Now, since you have rolled one of your flukes, erase all of the circles except one, so you only have one remaining, and then add a cross to one side. If you roll a cross, something unfortunate happens to you, or more likely, your party.
That's not good.
Mhm.
Wave with the arm at everyone, and while the confetti is going off, I kind of poke in the direction of what looks like an exit.
There are steps up through this massive auditorium. You're definitely outside. It's brighter here, but the same kind of brightness that you might get from fluorescent lights in a cafeteria, where looking up at it kind of hurts. But you can begin to exit and make your way out if you would like to.
Hell yeah.
I'll do that.
The holy symbol is still warm in your grip, Seraph. You can sense that connection still. As you all walk out, making your way up through the stands of these static, clapping, cheering fans, you now see you are at the center of some kind of valley. Green grass, flowers, massive hills cresting up into mountains surround you. And although this area is warm and bright, again, you recognize, only heard it described, or maybe pictures pulled off of the internet, dark woods filled with mist. Storm clouds surround you here in the eye of the storm. And far away to what you assume is north, a dark spire, a tower connected to a massive, dark castle. Pulling back into the past as you all emerge, you remember another moment shared. Graduation. I want to know what your GPAs were as you graduated from college. How well did you do? And let's begin with Cass.
4.0. Cass had excellent grades, not just because he was excellently medicated and definitely in therapy, but also was really good at making friends with his professors. So would just, if he was late on an assignment, would just be like, you know how it is, and they'd be like, ah. So even like the weaknesses that Cass had were made up for by his very lackadaisical personality.
What about Fern?
Fern probably graduated with like a 3.2. But like done well, but very kind of middle of the road. Nothing exceptional on either end of the failure or success.
Yeah. What about Johnny?
Johnny probably had like a 3.1. Johnny probably wasn't amazing at a lot of his classes. And for the art degree, he just had to like just pass any gen ed classes. So most of his like good grades are in those like studio classes make up for the kind of middling grades for the rest of his schedule. But had good rapport with most all of the faculty, even in the classes that he didn't do like fantastic in.
Okay. What about Evelyn?
I think Evelyn would have had around like 3.7 or 3.8. I think Evelyn was good in school and went out of her way to take classes that she thought were challenging, which brought her GPA down a little bit, but she performed pretty well. She took her studying very seriously.
And Sam, kind of right in the middle with a 3.5. Did very well, it was very smart, but especially in senior year, just struggled with finishing things more. I think there were a lot of late nights that you remember, Fern, where she was working and working through assignments and then would just turn to you and start talking about something she was planning or a party she was planning on going to, something related to the campaign. And she brought people over a lot more in senior year as well. The group of you on graduation. Sam requested that you all take a picture together, dressed up. Who left first? Drove away with their family, moved out.
At this point, Johnny and Evie would have been married, so they have to leave together, whenever that is.
You guys married in college?
Do you think we married in college? Very soon after.
We would have been engaged at this point.
We would have
been
been
engaged.
Yeah.
Okay. You two then leave first?
Maybe, yeah.
I think that's reasonable.
Not like early or anything, but we're probably the first to head out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You get hugs from your friends, load up your stuff together, drive away. Who's next to leave?
I'm kind of getting the vibe that Fern doesn't leave. Is that the trend that we're looking at here?
That's the trend.
All right. If not for that, Cass would be very close to it, just by nature of the fact that Cass keeps leaving and then coming back, having forgotten like 12 different things, but eventually does leave.
Mm-hmm. You head off with your girlfriend, I'm assuming?
My parents are taking me and Amy to the Sizzler.
And you don't want to be late for that?
No.
So then the last two, Sam and Fern. Sam's wearing a summer dress underneath the graduation robe, and she reaches over and takes your hand, Fern, as you two are standing in front of your dorm with your bags packed. Are you gonna miss this place?
There are a lot of good memories here, but so yeah, I'll miss it. But I'm sticking around. I gotta job in the admissions office, so it's not like I'm going to be too far away. Those memories will still be there.
Yeah. I'm really proud of you. I mean, I'm sure Evie has some massive internship offer and, you know, summer art programs, etc. But I think you're the first one of us to have like a real job, a real first job after college.
I'm excited. I feel like I can really do a lot.
Yeah, I'm really proud of you. They're lucky to have you.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah. You're gonna go far.
You too.
Okay, I'm gonna load these up in my car. Do you want me to drop you off anywhere?
No, I'm just gonna take one more walk through. Might swing by the bell tower.
Okay. Oh, I think I left some of my stash there still.
Do you want it?
Nah. You can have it. Have a little bit and think of me.
Thanks for the graduation gift.
You're welcome. We'll have a session if we can get everyone. I'm still trying to figure out schedules, but maybe we'll do some kind of voice call or something next week when we're all unpacked.
That would be great. I look forward to the messages.
Yeah, I'll miss you, Fern.
Miss you too, Sam. Travel safe.
Leans in. Thank you. Gives you a big bear hug. Pulls away. And as warm as that moment is, there's that sinking feeling. Everyone's leaving. Everyone's going their separate ways. And even if you all see each other again, it's never going to be like this. Sharing classes, chatting together over lunch, getting drinks, late night on the roof of a dorm building, or by a statue, making fun of fraternity brothers or sorority girls. This was the last moment when it was us instead of, have you seen them recently? Have you heard from them? We fade back into the world of Die. And shall we do another 5-minute break before we do another maybe 20 minutes of wrap up? Does that sound good to everyone?
Yeah,
Sure.
they're doing
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're going to take another short break if that's cool with our producer. Excellent. And then we'll see you guys back for the end of chapter 2.
soon.
Hello, and welcome back to Subdatum. You emerge from this amphitheater where you can see the dark dungeon has deconstructed itself into what you thought were real boulders, real dungeon walls that now just appear to be painted wood with spotlights shining on them. Stepping out into this valley, the dark clouds and the mist around you, that grand castle. Here in the eye of the storm, catch your breath for a moment. The sensations have all returned to your bodies. You can feel warmth on your skin. You can smell the fresh air here, the brilliant light of the sun above you, a sun that's just a little bit different than the one you know, not a circle, but rather the shape of a massive D20. You have a moment to catch your breath, to reconcile with what just happened to you. That this is real, this does hurt, and this also comes with moments of triumph, success, enjoyment.
I use my new arm to point up toward the sun, and I say, it's a little fucking on the nose, right?
I
Just
feel
a
like
bit.
branding is kind of Sam or Lady Zerova's whole thing.
Like, all right, fine, whatever. All right, cool. Yeah, we're in a world that's real.
Mm.
And it's all about branding, because Lady Zerova made it. I try to make a drink conjured into my hand.
You concentrate real hard, and your hand just gets wet.
Does it taste like alcohol?
It's salty.
I count that as an absolute win.
You made Pedialyte.
Well, if there's any taverns around, I'm sure that'll come in handy.
Yeah, for sure. What the fuck?
You don't see any taverns.
I don't. Literally the castle is like the only thing around.
I mean, if we're in a campaign, then we go to the castle, right? That should be
Right,
a no-brainer.
Right.
I don't really feel like it's necessary to play by the rules of the campaign, because I never sure fucking did, and I don't plan on doing it now. So if we walk in the other direction, there's got to be something, right?
I mean, I don't know why you're trying to prolong this. It seems that there's a story that's supposed to happen. It would make sense to just do what's supposed to go on in the story.
Yeah, let me tell you something. As someone who has stayed friends with Sam, I think if we play along in this real world that exists, we're just gonna have a much worse trip, you know? Like, assuming that Sam does this and assuming that it's real, if we play into her little game, she's just gonna want us to play more games.
Right.
So other direction.
If we go the other direction, we're still playing more games. We're just playing.
No, we're
random
playing her
bullshit.
campaign if we go towards that castle. You fucking know Sam loves a campaign.
You do realize, Sam, anytime we just wandered off, would just loop it back into the plot. It just took longer for no reason.
Yeah! Do your best, creepy vampire lady in the sky! And starts walking in the other direction.
Are you so afraid of consequences that you will not go forward?
Yes, and... Turns around, starts walking backwards.
As you walk backwards, rest of you see Cass, bright blue hair, massive muscles, disappearing up over a hill. And then Cass, stepping. You bump into something from behind.
Knew it. Turn around to look at it.
You see before you a knight of some kind, visor down, wearing brilliant silver armor and black robes thrown over it, a pike in one hand, standing, waiting. A hand reaches up as you're looking, slides back. You see a dour-faced, bearded man. Halt.
Not Lady Knight. Now this is boring. Why should I halt?
You are in dangerous territory. You know not where you stand.
Does that convince you I should pass?
No, unfortunately not. This domain is under the rule of a tyrannical woman by the name of Lady Zerup.
Oh, damn it. Ah! Every time I get cock blocked. All right, under the leggies! And like tries to slip underneath. And they...
Will you give me a dexterity check?
Sure. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm derailing. It is what I am made for.
You're making me very happy.
You're making Amelia very happy. You are irritating E to no end, and I assume this is what happened in the game as well.
Yes, absolutely. I got 2 successes. I did not roll an X or an O.
Okay. With 2 successes, you duck under the legs of this man. He says, "Halt!" and then turns around fairly slowly, and you can scamper off and past him towards the edge of these misty, dark woods. Cass has just run off. Are the rest of you following?
Not. No. I'm looking at Cass go away, and I say, yeah, that's typical. And I begin walking toward the castle.
Okay. Rule number 1 is like, don't split the party. That's like the first thing we did. It's never gone well for us.
Yeah. Except what happens is Cass runs off, and then we end up doing whatever the fuck Cass wants to do. I don't want to do whatever the fuck Cass wants to do. I want to go home. So
I want to go home too. I don't want to do whatever the fuck Cass is doing.
Then come with me.
But we need Cass.
For why?
I don't know. A member of our party just vanished over the hill. If we're
If Cass
playing
does
by
not
the
wanna be
campaign
here-
rules,
If Cass does not want to be here, he does not have to be. Clearly, they are not interested in being serious. They've always shown that.
Go to the castle.
Walks with you.
after a moment, Seraph slowly starts to follow you, but backwards.
The 3 of
That's
you
cute.
down and then up another hill, cresting away from this amphitheater. Fern, Seraph, you still sense from that D12 something you can tug on, some kind of warmth, a hum in the back of your mind. You notice as you're walking that sunflowers will occasionally sprout up by your feet.
Is this your doing, Thoth?
A gift.
So how does this work?
You want me to explain it as a favor?
That sounds like I'm making a deal of some kind.
So you already know how it works.
I mean, I've played enough games to know when I'm entering into some kind of contract. The term I believe Lady Zarova used was God Binder.
I am at your service, Godbinder. Doesn't mean we can't be friends, and doesn't mean that I am not, in many ways, a powerful deity. You may bind me, but you cannot direct me, unless you have something to offer me in return.
Of course, of course. No chance you can convince our hot-headed friend to follow us.
I could show him the light. If you do something for me.
We'll see how things go.
Mm-hmm. You continue stepping up over the hill, and Cass, you make your way towards the edge of this dark forest. Branches looming like hands reaching out towards you, the mist swirling at your feet. You step from an idyllic setting into a dark and grim-toned scene.
Into the woods. Into the woods. I think there'd at least be woods. And walks inside.
Mm-hmm. You step forward, and you actually hear noise now. Unlike the silence of the dungeon, a caw of a raven in the distance, crackling of animals far away, moving over leaves and branches. You come to some kind of gnarled tree, half fallen. Looks strangely like a scene from Sam's house. It resembles a painting that was hung over the couch behind her. A fallen tree, sort of leaned up against another branch, with a lean-to between the two of them, and a abandoned smoking campfire.
This reinforces the belief that Cass thinks he is sitting on the couch staring at this painting. Yeah, it's about right. Anybody here? There's a fire or some shit, so...
You hear a groan. Urgh.
Hello?
One of the wood planks of the lean-to shifts slightly.
Oh, hell yeah. And grabs a rock and throws it at the lean.
Throw the rock, and the branches are knocked aside, revealing some sort of hunched over, larger figure wearing a big, cozy woolen sweater and a red scarf. Long hair falling down over its face.
Alright, it's weird. It's just on the ground right now.
It's sort of leaning against the half-fallen tree with its hair falling over its face, almost like bracing against it. Doesn't seem to have really noticed or picked up, doesn't have any like attention or focus, even though you've just thrown a rock towards it.
I draw my longsword and I reach out and I poke the creature like in the general shoulder area, and I'm like, hey buddy, do something interesting.
The head comes up. You see through long, grimy strands of hair a familiar eye. Sort of quirks up into what appears to be a smile. And then the jaw hanging open, drool comes out of Amy's face.
Rest of this has been fucking funny, but this isn't fucking funny. Sam, what the fuck? You wouldn't put this in here? This is just a big fucking joke, right? I'm gonna wake up.
An arm comes up and reaches out towards the sword, sort of batting it aside and reaching for your face.
Stumbles back. Alright, whatever kind of bad fucking trip I'm having, this wouldn't... Sam wouldn't fucking put this in here. Kind of like falls back onto his hands and knees, stares for a few minutes, and then like stumbles to his feet and starts running out of the forest.
She stumbles after you. And as she does, shadows, you see them just sort of teleport in almost, just like in black smoke, similar to as Zarova disappeared, that ashy cloud. And you see dark brows, shiny teeth, blood-red lips as a coven of bosom vampires begin to chase you from this wood, dressed all in this like shiny latex kinkwear outfit attire, just like bosoms like bouncing as these sexy lady vampires chase you. It should be so funny. But behind them, as they flap with gigantic leathery wings towards you, a lumbering figure, slow and unmistakable, in the distance. The rest of you, making your way over these hills, notice it's growing a little bit colder. Looks like the storm clouds that are gathering over the wood ahead of you grow darker still, and you now see in the distance a massive gate seems to be formed out of the trees at the edge of the wood here, branches growing together, twisted, and at the ends of them, wooden hands interlocking to make a sort of web of hard, dark material. And then you hear pounding feet, someone running behind you. And Seraph, you see him first. Cass.
I'm running.
Ah, look who's back.
Yeah, run?
What? Oh, Cass, what did you do?
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, run. And keeps running.
Run past the group, and coming over the hill, Seraph, you now see at first 3, and then 5, 7, 9 incredibly sexy vampires. You want me to shine a little light on the scenario now?
Yeah, Thoth, I think I need a favor.
I thought you might eventually. Now, here's the thing. The edges of this domain can be a little dark and gloomy. If I help you here, I'd like a favor in return. Bring light to somewhere light has never touched. Or bring light to something that no one's ever shared.
You have a deal.
We have a deal. And suddenly, instinctively, your hand comes up, the holy symbol, that beam of light from above. You begin to glow, brilliant, your hair lifting off of your shoulders, your skin almost pearlescent, incredibly difficult to look at. You feel a power you have never felt in your entire life. Like all it would take is a wave of your hand, and you could change the way the sun shines. What do you do, Seraph?
I go ahead and, almost floating with this power, just start kind of individually almost tapping on each of these vampires with
They
this
begin
light.
to alight. Will you roll for me a wisdom pool, adding your d12 to it?
Yes.
Also, as Seraph starts doing this, I think Cass does one of those kind of thing. Like you see the dust kick up, sees what Seraph is doing, and starts booking it full force back towards her.
All right. Got a 5, a 9, a 6, and a 2.
Okay. 9, 6, and 2. So with a 6, you can activate a special. With a 9, that's another success, so that's 2 successes. With 2 successes, I'm going to say you definitely succeed on this. You don't turn up any additional god debt beside the favor that you now owe to Thoth. So
Yes.
you want to hold on to that special. Let's just have you
Okay.
kind of keep that in your back pocket. A vampire bursts into flame. Holy divine flame. Then another, but there are more of them, and you feel that power waning and tapping out. The other two of you, E and Dorado, as you now have pushed closer to this gate, looks like there's someone standing and waiting right out front of it, dressed in similar armor to the knight that Cass had bumped into, silver and black robes thrown over.
Well, up to them.
Mhm.
We need into the castle.
The visor comes up with one hand, and you see what appears to be someone you've worked with for a long time. E, who is your protege?
Excellent question.
If you want, while you are looking for that information, tell me, Cass, what are you doing as you run back towards Seraph?
Yeah, Cass runs up to Seraph and kind of grabs her by the shoulder and says, "Don't fucking hit her."
Hit who?
And is just looking out to try to see how far back, if at all, visible this fallen is.
She is a long way back. The other vampires, much quicker, some of them flapping or teleporting. There's a figure far in the distance coming over a hill, stumbling slowly as she walks, maybe a mile.
Wow, I run fast. Very strong. My grip relaxes and I'm like, it's nothing. The really sexy one with the big talents.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have a chance.
Sure, Cass.
Although your power is great as bestowed by your god, a few of them still remain as you are pushed back up against this gate. The Lady Knight says to you, E, why should I grant you admittance?
Else?
Hi.
Hi. Right. Lady Zorova is expecting us.
I don't have any appointments listed here. Maybe there's something else you could do for me? I'm not supposed to let people in without checking in with the big kahuna.
I think hearing that, there's this sort of like, kind of, I guess, prickle in the back of E's like neck as the dye in their hand begins to warm. And they say, Lady Zorova is expecting us. making eye contact, and that shimmer of like faint, like candlelight against the gold tattoos goes all the way through them as they use the voice.
Excellent. What is the thing that reveals your voice? It is the shimmer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, excellent. Now you are going to roll a charisma pool for me. Make sure to add that d4.
Okay. So that's a 1 on the d4.
Okay.
And then there's 3 successes.
Excellent.
So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm just going to do it at the second level. Like I'm just going to add one of those successes. Yeah. I'm not like used to this power, so I don't want to go too hard. I don't really know what it does.
Excellent. Okay, that is 2 successes. And how are you using your particular emotion in this way? What are you trying to attempt to get her to do?
I'm trying to attempt to get her to trust me.
Trust you. Okay. Excellent. Now, I am going to metaphorically claim your d4. I am now in possession of it for as long as you are influencing this character. Thank you. As long as I have your d4, you cannot add it to dice pools until you take it back, and then the influence will fade. Unless you got a critical fail here, which you did not. You got your 3 successes. So, as you activate that
wait,
voice,
I did roll a 1 on my failure die, but that doesn't matter because I rolled enough. So, okay.
You got enough successes.
Okay, cool.
Yes. The tingle is first just a flush in your cheeks and then a flood through your body. If you don't mind me describing it this way, I think that using the voice here is almost like an orgasm of like delight through your body. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, of delight through your body, just like a full body shiver, a flush, as you see the eyes go from guarded and then relax. And she smiles at you in the way that you recognize when she's looking over your shoulder and you're showing her how to do something, when you told her that you were able to get funding for the internship, the smile of I am protected and I am safe and you are helping me, you are making a difference in my life. The way that she looks at you, so grateful. Absolutely. Of course, anything that I can do for you. Leans back, grabs one of those roots, tugs on it, and the hands and the branches and the trees lift and slide apart, revealing for you a dark and shrouded pathway that snakes deeper into the woods, mist at your feet as you are chased towards the castle of Lady Zarova by these pursuing vampires. And in the distance, slow and steady, the approach of a fallen towards our party. That is where we will end our session for tonight. Excellent.
Nice.
Thank you all so much for joining us and watching. Let's do one more little run through as we wrap up of everyone introducing themselves, where we can find you, and if you have anything cool coming up that we should look out for. We're going to go backwards in order. So, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. My name is Sarah, and I'm Sarah's Coffee on everything. I am on this. I'm also on Strange Hungers on Saturday. I'm also in Off the Rails on Friday on the Welcome In. Strange Hungers is here on this channel at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And I have some other stuff cooking up, but that's all that I'm doing right now. So, yeah.
Excellent. Nicole.
I'm Nicole. You can find me around the internet at Trans Tiefling. And if you want to hear more of my voice as random extras on a podcast, go check out Night Shift. It's a great, also kind of queer, spooky-esque fiction podcast, and it just hit 20,000 downloads like a week or something ago. So, yeah, so you can try and spot my voice in the episodes.
Excellent. Andre.
Hi, my name's Andre. I use he, they pronouns. You can find me at Andre Rivera Art on Twitter and on Instagram. You can also find me at andrevera.art, which is my official website where you can see my illustration portfolio, as well as all of the actual play series that I'm on, including Tragedy Theologian, Atomless, Unicorn Hunt, Redline, Power Rangers, and Subdatum. I feel like I'm forgetting one, but maybe that's my brain lying to me. You can also message me or email me if you want commission done. I actually have a bit of a queue, so I can give you an estimate of when it'll be done. But yeah.
And you should do so. Their art is amazing. Thank you, Andre. And Amelia.
You can find me most places by going to links.ameliasom. No, you can find me most places at ameliasom or by going to links.ameliasom.com. I am on Mercenaries of Mischief playing their Last Light show on Mondays. I am on the podcast Guild Fellows, which releases new episodes on Wednesdays. I am here on Thursdays, Fridays, except not tomorrow for the weekend. I am on Offbeat Outlaws YouTube channel. And starting in October, I can say this now, I will be DMing Arc 10 of Unprepared Casters.
Yes!
Oh my gosh!
Oh my
I
gosh.
can't legally say
I
more
cannot
before
wait.
we started recording. It's so good.
Oh, I cannot wait to check that out. Awesome. Well, definitely go look at Unprepared Casters. It's super amazing. Can't wait to see you on there. And I have been your GM. I am Alex. I use he, they pronouns. I'm over on Twitter at Alder_Mancy. Most other places at Aldermancy, and releasing hopefully some games soon at Sword Ghost on itch.io and Ko-fi. And I also GM Strange Hungers here on Total Party Kiss on Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Time with Sarah. And of course, I want to give a big shout out to our amazing producer, Art Plebe, Sloan at Art Plebe on Twitter. Please go check them out. They made this beautiful overlay and do such a great job for us. You can also find me on Tuesdays at Going Critical TTRPG, where I play a terrible French vampire in Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition. Love that so much. And I also have some maybe cool things happening, but I think that's all for me for right now. So final shout outs to Soundtail. Thank you for Soundtail for our music. One More Multiverse is what we make our super cool maps in. We're also big fans of the Die RPG, so go check out on their Kickstarter page, and you can pre-order it now. Give Karen Gillen a shout out, or Rowan Ricard-Deckard a shout out for us, because they're making this amazing updated version of the game happen. And I think if that's everything, I hope you guys all have a great evening. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Go give us a follow over on @TotalPartyKiss on Instagram, on Twitter, and our YouTube channel, Total Party Kiss, where you can find VODs and our other amazing shows. With that being said, everyone have a great evening, and we will see you next Thursday. Bye-bye.
Bye!
Bye.